napkin that was about his head, not laying with the clothes that they buried him in, but wrapped together in another place by itself. Now, let me show you how significant that is. I wondered about that. What did that mean? What in the world does that mean? And that thing about drove me nuts. And I researched, and I found this years ago. Now, I'm the best it gets for me is Kingsman. Okay, that's about if y'all ever eat a Kingsman, that's it for me. Hamburger, steak, fries. I can't go to these high dollar steakhouses. I just think, suits and, tuxedos, I can't move. Not me. I don't have that kind of money. Amen? Now, if you got that kind of money you want to take me, I'll get dressed up and we'll go. Amen? But you go in these restaurants, these fancy restaurants, and I am told this by people, plus I researched it, that when you go into a fancy restaurant, I'm talking probably a Donald Trump type restaurant, okay? So let's get on that kind of level, Donald Trump type restaurant. You go in and you sit down to eat a meal. When you sit down to eat a meal, and after you're done, if you do not want the waiter to take your plate, because you're not quite finished, maybe you had to get up and excuse yourself from the table, and you didn't. What you do is you take your napkin and you put it on top of your plate. Amen? And so when the waiter comes by, they're coming back. They won't take it. Okay? They won't take it. They say, they're coming back, so okay, we won't take it. And they walk by it. But when you take your napkin and fold it to I got that backwards. When you put the napkin in the plate, the waiter, when you fold your napkin, put it on this side. Let me change it over. I'm sorry. I got you confused. I'm confused now. When you go to a fancy restaurant and you're done eating, you fold your napkin and you set it in all other place. So when the waiter comes back, if your napkin is in your plate, right, he knows that you're coming back. But if you fold your napkin and you put it off to the side, he knows you're not coming back. And he'll take the plate up. I didn't confuse you too bad, did I? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who said that? Okay, you got it. Oh, you got it, I'm happy. So what happens is, the same thing with Jesus. As I research this, notice it says that his grave cloths are in one place, but the napkin is folded nice and neat in another place. What he was telling them is, I'm gone. Amen? I'm gone. So, what Jesus said, he said, and they found the napkin. So, he was letting them know, I'm not coming back to this grave. I'm done. I'm gone. I'm resurrected. Now watch what he says. Then went also that other disciple which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. For yet they knew not the scripture that must be raised again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again into their own home. When John come in there, he saw that napkin in his clothes. He said, yeah, buddy. Hallelujah, he's risen. He's not coming back to the grave. He's risen. He's free. Amen. Amen. Glory. But watch this. Mary, godly woman. There's nothing better than a Christian woman, man. Nothing better. If you got a Christian wife, you hang on to her with all that you've got and all that's within you, and you pray. And you love her like God says to love her, because she will be a help to you. Amen. And all you men just should have said amen on that. Amen. It says, but Mary stood without the sepulchre, or the grave, weeping. As she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, and seeing two angels in white, one sitting at the head, the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain. Now watch this. I love this. And they say unto her, woman, she was in love with Jesus. Why weepest thou? Why are you crying? What's wrong? Why? Watch what she says. She saith unto them, because they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him. She still thinks at this point that he's dead. Somebody has stole the body of Jesus. Now I want to tell you how deep her love was. She didn't care. He cast out demons out of her. He gave her a new life. He brought her out of that old way of sin and ugliness and degradation and brought her into a place of beauty and love. And she loved him. She didn't care if he was dead. They said, woman, why are you crying? What is wrong with you? What's going on? And she said, they have took away the body of my Lord. And I don't know where they've laid him, and I'm looking for him. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. It doesn't end there. And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Jesus standing and knew not that it was Jesus. Her grief was so overwhelming that when she turned around, she thought him just to be another gardener, and he was standing there. He had a purpose for this. Watch what he says. And Jesus saith unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? I can hear his precious voice in my ear. I just can hear that precious voice of Jesus. Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? Who are you looking for? Jesus, I love you. She, supposing him to be the gardener, saith unto him, Sir, if thou have bore him thence, wherever you took him, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away. She'll take the dead body. She said, I love him so much. I love him. I'm in love with him. I'll take you, please, please. Where have you laid him? Let me get myself together right quick. I believe that every Christian dies. Jesus calls them by name. Amen. I believe he calls them by name. There's not a person that dies. I don't believe Jesus says, calls them by name. It says, like my mom's name was Mary Magdalene. My grandmother named her out of the Bible, Mary Magdalene. I believe the day that my mama died, I believe Jesus said, Mary, come home. Amen. She was gone. Just that quick. I kissed my mom and I said, Mama, I love you. If you got to go, you go. If he's calling you, you got to go. We'll be fine, Mama. And my mama was Indian. She was a Cherokee. She had olive brown skin and she had deep brown eyes. She looked up at me. She looked like she looked over her like this. She was laying in her bed. She looked, I said, Mama, I love you. But if he's calling you, you got to go. We'll be fine, Mama. We'll be fine. She looked up. She smiled. She was out of there, brother. But I believe Jesus called her name. I believe he said, Mary, come on now. And brother, boom, she was out of there. I believe there's not a Christian alive that God don't call by name. Amen. Yeah. And one day he's going to, watch what he does here. Watch this. She's all upset, and Jesus said unto her, watch what he simply says. Mary. She turned herself and said unto him, Rabboni, which is to say, Master, in the Arabic. She said, oh, Master, could you imagine what that old gal felt? Amen. And she loved him so much that when he called her by name and she turned around and now he's resurrected, the same Lord that loved her. And she says, man, I believe those girls took off running. I really do. Amen. What? Because she loved Jesus and he loved her.
Amen.
Now watch. It says Mary. And Jesus said unto her, now watch. This is important. Very important. Let me see here. Stand up, Sister Sandy. Let me give you a visual of this. I do it every year, but I won't do it again because there's some new faces in here. Jesus said unto her, touch me not, for I am not yet ascended unto my Father. Go tell my brother, and say unto him, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, unto my God and your God. Now I want to show you what Jesus was talking about. This is another thing in the Bible. I get these little things that drive me nuts. I got to look them up, and I kept looking and found it. So why would he not want her to touch him? Why would he not want that? She's dying. Well, she's hurting, and now all of a sudden, here he is, Mary, and Jesus, my Lord, my Master. And he said, touch me not. Now, it wasn't something like that. She literally grabbed him and was holding on to him and would not let go. And he said, Mary, touch me not. He said, I've got to go. In other words, what I said, Mary, you got to let me go. I got to go to my Father and your Father and to my God and your God and tell my brother. And she oh, no, I got you now. Oh, that's it. Kind of like we do, Brother Travis, when we meet our girlfriends and our wives. She'll try to pull away at night for that last smooch on the lip. No, baby, come here. Squeeze up tight. And she wouldn't let him go. And he said, Mary, touch. He wasn't saying, you see, in the Aramaic, he was saying, it's not literally don't touch me. He said, Mary, I got to go to my God and your God, my Father and your Father. And I got the picture then. Because how many of us, if my daddy, who's been gone since I was right at 8 years old, and I'm 59 now, almost 60. And my daddy was to walk through that door right there. And I hadn't seen him in all these years. And he was to say, Ronnie, I looked up and saw him. Oh, my word. I would latch on to him like a child. Start kissing him and tell him I love him. And he'd say, now, son, I got to go. I said, no, Daddy, you can't go. I'll hold him. But see, that's what she's talking about. You love him so much that you just hold on to him. And you want to keep him. And Jesus said, I've got to go to my God, your God, my Father, your Father. And he goes on and tells her, he says, Mary, I'm about to done. He says, watch. He said, Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord, and that he had spoken these things unto her. Come on, Sister Sandy. Amen. 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 How many of us wouldn't want to do that? Amen. I don't know what the song, I can only imagine what it'd be like when I walk by your side. And he goes on, he says, I can only imagine. What will I do? Will I forever worship you? What will I do? I can't tell you what I'll do when I get to heaven. But I know one thing, I want to see Jesus. Amen. Oh, my word. And Mary loved him so much that she wanted to hold on to him and love him and kiss him. And she said, Mary, I got to go. And now watch. Watch this.